Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about top 10 life-changing inventions. So before starting this video, like this video, and subscribe to this channel for future updates. Humans are a resourceful race despite the fact that we have only been on the planet for a short time. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Modern Homo sapiens have thought up and produced some incredible, even far-fetched stuff. Several main developments stand out as especially groundbreaking, from the moment someone bashed a rock on the ground to make the first sharp-edged weapon, to the introduction of the wheel, to the invention of Mars rovers and the internet. Here are our top choices for the most significant inventions of all time, as well as the research behind them and how they came to be. Number 10. The wheel. Humans were seriously limited on how much and how fast they could move goods over land, until the invention of the wheel in 3500 BC. The wheel itself didn't seem to be the most complicated aspect of inventing the wheel. Things got tricky when it came to connecting a non-moving platform to the rolling cylinder, according to David Anthony, an anthropology professor at Hartwick College. The wheel and axle design was a stroke of genius, Anthony previously told Live Science. However, producing it was challenging as well. He explained that the holes in the middle of the wheels, and at the ends of the fixed axles, for example, had to be nearly perfect, round and smooth. The axle's size as well as its snugness within the hole were both important considerations, not too tight but not too loose, either. The effort paid off handsomely. Wheeled carts aided agriculture and trade by allowing goods to be transported to and from markets and easing the hardships of people who had to travel long distances. Wheels are now ubiquitous in our daily lives, appearing in everything from clocks to automobiles to wind turbines. Number 9. The nail. Civilization will fall apart without nails. Civilization will fall apart without nails. This important discovery dates back over 2,000 years to the ancient Roman era, and it was only possible after humans learned to cast and form metal. Previously, wood structures had to be constructed by geometrically interlocking adjacent boards, which was a far more time-consuming operation. According to the University of Vermont, hand-wrought nails were the standard until the 1790s and early 1800s, with a blacksmith heating a square iron rod and then hammering it on four sides to make a point. Between the 1790s and the early 1800s, nail-making machines became available. According to the University of Vermont, after Henry Bessemer invented a method to mass-produce steel from iron, the iron nails of the past gradually faded, and by 1886, 10% of US nails were made from soft steel wire. Steel wire accounted for 90% of nails made in the United States by 1913. Meanwhile, Archimedes, a Greek scholar, is thought to have invented the screw, a stronger but more difficult to insert fastener, in the 3rd century BC. Number 8. The compass. Ancient mariners used the stars to navigate, but this strategy didn't work during the day, or on cloudy nights, making it dangerous to travel far from shore. Between the 9th and 11th centuries, the Chinese invented the first compass, which was made of lodestone and naturally magnetized iron ore, whose appealing properties they had studied for centuries. Pictured is a model of an ancient Chinese compass from the Han Dynasty. It is a polished lodestone south indicating ladle or sonar. Via nautical communication, the technology was quickly passed on to Europeans and Arabs. The compass enabled mariners to navigate safely far from shore, resulting in increased sea trade and the Age of Discovery. Number 7. The printing press. About 1440, the German Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press. The hand mold, a new molding technique that allowed for the rapid production of large quantities of metal movable type, was crucial to its progress. While others had invented movable type made of metal before him, including inventors in China and Korea, Gutenberg was the first to develop a mechanized method for transferring the ink which he made from linseed oil and soot from the movable type to paper. Printing presses using this movable form technique increased the speed at which book copies could be produced by orders of magnitude, allowing for the first time in history the rapid and widespread distribution of information. By 1500, Western Europe had printed 20 million volumes. The printing press, among other things, made the Bible more available, allowing for alternate interpretations such as Martin Luther's 95 Theses, a text printed by the thousands that ignited the Protestant Reformation. Number 6. The telephone. Though several inventors pioneered electronic voice communication, many of whom later filed intellectual property litigation as telephone use exploded, Alexander Graham Bell was the first to be granted an electric telephone patent in 1876. Above is a drawing of his patent. Though several inventors pioneered electronic voice communication, many of whom later filed intellectual property litigation as telephone use exploded, Alexander Graham Bell was the first to be granted an electric telephone patent in 1876. You can see his patent drawing above. According to PBS, he was inspired by his experiences teaching the deaf, and visiting his hearing-impaired mother. According to PBS, he dubbed the first telephone an electrical speech machine. The innovation took off, rapidly revolutionizing world trade and communication. According to PBS, when Bell died on August 2, 1922, the United States telephone service was halted for a minute in his honor. Number 5. The light bulb. When all you have is natural light, you can only work during the day. By encouraging us to be productive at night, light bulbs changed the world. According to historians, 24 individuals contributed to the creation of incandescent lamps in the 1800s. Thomas Edison is credited as the primary inventor, since in 1879 he developed a fully functioning lighting device that included a generator, wiring and a carbon filament bulb similar to the one shown above. This breakthrough not only ushered in the introduction of electricity into homes throughout the Western world, but it also had the unintended effect of altering people's sleeping habits. We now remain awake except for the 7 to 8 hours allocated for sleep, and preferably we sleep all at once rather than going to bed at nightfall having little else to do, and sleeping in segments during the night separated by intervals of wakefulness. Number 4. Penicillin. It's one of history's most well-known discovery stories. Alexander Fleming, a Scottish scientist, discovered a bacteria-filled Petri dish with its lid inadvertently ajar in his laboratory in 1928. The sample had been infected with mold and the bacteria had died wherever the mold was found. The antibiotic mold turned out to be the fungus Penicillium, and chemists purified it and developed the drug penicillin over the next 2 decades, which battles a wide range of bacterial infections in humans without harming them. By 1944, penicillin was being mass-produced and marketed. This sign, which was posted on a curbside mailbox, urged World War II servicemen to take the medication to cure venereal disease. According to a report published in 2003 in the journal Clinical Reviews in Allergy and Immunology, around 1 out of every 10 people has an allergic reaction to the antibiotic. However, the majority of those people are able to tolerate the medication, according to the researchers. Number 3. The Internet. It really doesn't require much of an introduction. The Internet, a vast web of interconnected computer networks, is used by billions of people around the world. Many people contributed to its creation, but computer scientist Lawrence Roberts is often credited with its invention. ARPANET was created by a group of computer scientists working for the U.S. Defense Department's ARPA Advanced Research Projects Agency in the 1960s to link the agency's computers. It used packet switching, a data transfer method developed by Roberts, a team member based on previous work by other computer scientists. ARPANET was the Internet's forerunner. Number 2. The internal combustion engine. The combustion of a fuel produces a high-temperature gas, which expands and exerts a force on a piston, causing it to move. Combustion engines transform chemical energy into mechanical work in this manner. The internal combustion engine, which took on its, essentially, modern form in the latter half of the 19th century, was the product of decades of engineering by many scientists. The engine ushered in the industrial age and paved the way for the development of a wide range of machines, including modern automobiles and aeroplanes. The phases of a 4-stroke internal combustion engine are depicted. The following are the strokes. 1. Air and vaporized fuel are drawn in during the intake stroke. 2. The fuel vapor and air are compressed and ignited during the compression stroke. 3. The power stroke occurs as the fuel ignites, and the piston is forced downwards, propelling the machine forward. 4. Exhaust stroke. The exhaust is forced out of the engine. Number 1. Water wheel. A water wheel, such as a watermill, is a mechanism that transforms the energy of flowing or falling water into useful forms of electricity. The driving car of a water wheel is made up of a wheel and a variety of blades or buckets arranged on the outside surface. The water wheel was invented in a variety of locations independently. Beginning between the 3rd and 1st centuries BC, the ancient Greeks produced some of the earliest, which they used for both irrigation and milling. The Eastern Han dynasty used horizontal water wheels for milling, and to power the piston bellows used to forge iron, or into cast iron by at least the 1st century AD. There are also ancient Indian texts dating back to the 4th century BC that mention devices that may have been the first water wheels, but this has yet to be proven. What do you think of our list? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want more videos from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.